Do you know what time it is? It's time for the coolest news. I am the coolest Jason. I'm your host, the Sage of Zed. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the coolest news. Welcome to my broadcast. I am your host, Jason Hall, otherwise known as the coolest Jason, and also known as, to the virtual gaming community, the Sage of Zed, and on X, at the Sage of Zed. You can find me there. You can donate today if you guys want to. I don't care. It's not like our gaming broadcast, so hang in there, because this is my news show. And we're just getting started, guys. Just getting started. With that, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. I don't want to drown you guys out with the music, but music is good. I'm checking all of our feeds, make sure that our stream is going smoothly. Bear with me, this won't happen on the next video. But just today, I want to make sure that everything's running smoothly for you guys. And it looks like it is. I will have live chat. I do have live chat on Rumble. I have live chat on X. I have live chat on YouTube. Are they all connected? No. But I am doing my best, ladies and gentlemen, to monitor everything that's going on, including the chat on all platforms. I'm going to try to pop the chat out so that I can get to you guys, and I can talk to you if you want to interact with me on the stream during the broadcast. I am working that out right now. I'm trying to pop all the chats out, and that way I don't miss them. I know like my streaming program can pick these up. What? Oh, really? Okay. You guys can hear me though, right? Okay, the people monitoring my my microphone can't hear me. Sorry about that, but I think the fans can hear me. I think anybody watching can hear me, because I can hear myself on the stream. So cool. Yo, what's up? What's up? I got the X working. It looks like that's working. X chat might be working. Looks like that popped up okay. Thank you, Streamlabs. Can we get the other chat working though? No? Alright, well, I tell you what, guys. I'm gonna continue and just plug along, because I don't want to worry about the stream if it seems to be working just fine on all platforms, even on X. So yeah, Matt, thanks for confirming the chat's working over there on X. Cool. I'm not wearing my sunglasses, my usual sunglasses today, guys, because I gotta fix them. I gotta screw loose, literally. Yeah, I certainly do have a screw loose. All right, guys. Let's turn this music down and let's talk a little bit, right? We got all kinds of stuff going in the news right now. We have ceasefires. Are they going to hold? I don't know. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let me get back to my. I will load up our Chrome browser. I'm using Chrome today. It doesn't really matter, but I am going to be using Chrome today. Let me see. Got to lock in some of these sources so that I don't pop everything out. Let's get a new source going. And browser source. Your web-based content. No, we want a window. Trying to figure out which window capture we're looking for here, though. Add source. All right. And boom, 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 boom. I think, guys, but I do not know. Oh boy. No? Okay. All right, guys. We will load up our I'm going to load up. Here we go. Get a window capture. I just want that one Chrome window, guys. That's all I want. Just the Chrome window, not the other windows. All right, give me a second. Okay, here we go. Ceasefire proposal. And let me open up. There we go. Oh yeah, I had it running perfectly before you guys got here. That's how this shit works, if you guys didn't know. Straight up. It right now it doesn't want to oh shit. It doesn't want to broadcast the doesn't want to broadcast it. That's not the window I want, guys. I want the other window. I do not have HDR on. Oh my gosh, stop it. Stop it. Here we go. Nope, 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 nope. We're getting it. We're getting it. We have to change. It's not propagating. The windows aren't windows aren't propagating right now. So, give me a second. What's that? Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I got it, guys. I got it. Just give me a second. Oh, don't do that. But I did, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, I got you. I got you, bitch. Alright, guys. I'm fitting the window right now. I'm fitting it. I'm fitting it in so that you guys don't have to worry about it being all wonky and not in the right spot. There we go. I added a completely new source. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with that. But this is a display capture, so I'm gonna have to be really smooth guy about not showing you guys certain things. But let me put it behind me before I screw that up. Wait. Oh my god. Where did I just put it? Oh my, guys. I'm really good at this. I swear I'm really good at this. Where is... I literally just did it. Wow. Okay. And let me select that. Move that. Wow, guys, I really had no idea that... Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay. Here we go. Nope, nope, nope. I have to put it under. Oh my god, guys. Woo! Nailed it! I'm a genius. All right. Here we go. Oh, that took a minute. I apologize, but I was right now, guys, we are going to go to this, and then I can then also do this. All right. Shit. That might not work. That might not work because, hey guys, seriously, get this shit together. Like, I've got 2 people helping me, but we want to... There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Got it. Wow. I was going to have to, like, start hurting people. I'm not even joking around. No. I am joking around, guys. I'm not going to hurt you. But thank you for helping me out and being here. All right. I got it fixed. I got everything fixed, guys. It's incredible how much it's fixed. I just got to put it down here under the alert box because all of that should be on top, right? Yes. Okay. Come on, Streamlabs. I'm not trying to add it to the folder. There we go. All right. Holy crap. Woo! And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have a web browser on, and I can't believe that took me, oh god, way too much time. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, Matt. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, the live chat seems to be working on X, propagating through the stream. So you can talk to me there. You can also talk to me on YouTube and Rumble. That is working. I am somewhat monitoring those feeds, guys. So it is the Sage of Zed show on Rumble. It is at Sage of Zed on YouTube, and we are obviously at the Sage of Zed on X. And this is the first episode of Mayhem for today. For today, guys. But yeah, this is my news show, the coolest news, and I did run a news website for a while called The Coolest News. I don't think there's anything on there. I mean, there might be something on there still. I think it was like 10 years ago that I even like looked on there. So, no worries. But here we are. And what's going on today in the news? Well, this right here is going on in the news today. We're awaiting the ceasefire proposal from Russia. Ukraine has agreed to a 30-day ceasefire proposal initiated by the United States. Go U.S., right? I'm assuming that Marco Rubio has some say in what's going on with this. We resumed intelligence sharing and security assistance to Ukraine as part of this initiative, and Russia has yet to respond officially, but is reportedly studying the proposal. Ukrainian President VZ, I'm not even gonna. I don't care. We'll call him Z. Has experienced readiness for peace while maintaining a cautious stance towards Russia's intentions. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has placed the responsibility on Russia to respond, highlighting that the potential for peace lies in Moscow's hands. So, I know what you're all wondering. They're like, wow, well, what do you think about the Ukraine? I don't fucking think about the Ukraine. I think if you're gonna go over there and you're gonna fight for democracy, guys, then you have to understand that the enemy in this situation, Russia, is also a democracy. So it's a lawful democratic republic. Are their elections fair? I don't know. I don't really care. Okay. Needless to say, despite what everybody thinks, I don't. I am not on one side of the aisle or the other. I have always voted bipartisan, always, throughout my entire life, and you can look at my voting record. I voted bipartisan in many different elections, including 2020, 2024. There are congressmen and senators that are on the Republican side that I absolutely couldn't vote for, but obviously the only person to vote for in this election, this past election for president, was President Trump. If you want to vote for a member of the witches' coven, then you know, and you weren't aware that you voted for the witches' coven, that is what was presented to you, okay? And I don't mean that lightly. I really don't mean that lightly. Okay? You call it the deep state if you want to, but it's not the deep state that I'm talking about. It's something totally different. They are advocates for feminism. I don't even mind that. I personally, I think that if you are an advocate for whatever you identify as, then more power to you. Because if you feel like this is what you have to tell people that you're all about just so they understand you, then maybe that's what you have to do. You know, I will not judge you because of your skin color, because of your sexual orientation, because of your gender, because of your how you identify, or how many rings you got in your face, or how many tattoos you have, or whether or not you wear a yarmulke. I don't care. I do not care. I will judge you on your individual actions until the end of time. I will judge you on your individual actions. I'll judge my family on their individual actions. I will judge everybody on their individual actions. And I don't believe that any individual group or grouping of people, no matter how you separate mankind into these tiny little groups or however you want to do it, you are not serving any purpose by doing such. Even when it comes to nationalities, although I believe that being from a certain country does basically, if your introduction to people is based on your nationality, you're being honest at the very least about where you are from. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just say, for instance, myself. You know, I know what my DNA pretty much is, but I know where I was born, and that's in the United States, so I'm an American. I know which country I spent 20 years of my life serving, and that's America, so I consider myself an American. if I was born somewhere else and I emigrated to America and I came here and I said, hey, um, I am from Ireland, let's say. Let's say I was an indentured servant from Ireland in the 1700s, and I came over here under indentured servitude. I didn't really want to be here, but I came over here and then I worked. And I worked for people and I lived on their land and they paid me and they fed me. And then I had children here eventually, am I an Irish and American? Yes. If I was born in Ireland and I came here, I'm an Irish American. Are my kids Irish American? No. They're not. So the history of my family is partly in Ireland, but my last name goes all the way back to the 1300s. And so I know where the family has moved from England to Scotland to Ireland, some to Wales, some to the United States, some to the Americas, right? And then they settled in different places, some in Virginia mostly at first. Some made it as far south as the Carolinas, and other parts of the Hall family moved to Michigan. They founded a city called Bath. There's other Halls that are involved in our family, but Manly P. Hall is a prominent Freemason, and that part of the tree goes wide one direction. But all of us Americans, we have a cultural heritage that we probably adhere to. And why am I bringing all this up? Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I wouldn't consider my kids Irish American. I would, and I think everybody watching this show would probably look at me and go, "What's this white guy talking about?" I'm not what you would consider if you were like going down the list of quote unquote races that separate humanity, that are completely false and just a perception of melatonin. The fact that I'm white to some is funny to me because I am a quarter I'm a quarter Asian. That's quite a bit. I believe that if I was a quarter African American, you all would know and or perceive me to be an African American. I'm bringing all this up because we're going to talk about Elon Musk in the future, but we're also going to talk about all of the Ukrainians living in the United States right now, most of whom speak Russian. My heart goes out to you and your people. My heart goes out to your people in your homeland. However, your leadership is gullible. Your leadership is greedy. Your leadership wanted much from us as a power, and they wanted to be very much a part of not the European community that was being built over there, but to separate themselves from Russia and to have more democratic, if not Western American values. However, with that, I will say that certain things that have come out of Ukraine in the last 10 years have not been very beneficial to the people of the United States and or the psyche of the American public. That being OnlyFans and the amount of porn that comes out of the Ukraine. Do I think porn is bad? Yes, 100%, 200% bad. However, I am the same guy that will say that strip clubs are good. Why? And then they say, well, you're a Christian. How in the world can you even say that? Well, another reason I am a follower of Christ. I wouldn't even say Christian at this point because that kind of connotates another one of those separations into a certain group that people have a bunch of preconceived assumptions about. So I'm a follower of Christ and his teachings and the teachings that were recorded in the Bible. Also the teachings that were recorded in the both Old New Testament, the Quran, and several other holy books speak of this man that came to this earth to not only educate but to save us from to sin and calamity, which we are falling into because of the influences of Western powers. But in a sense, we are creating this dystopian society that has some illusions of utopia, but that's not what they're creating because they're allowing sin to flourish. And, exiling the Orthodox Christian Church out of the Ukraine was not a good idea, despite what everybody might think. It was a terrible idea. But it does say to the Russians, we don't like you, and we don't like the way you live. Even though Russians are essentially not far removed from Ukrainians. They're just, one border away from being, I guess, more westernized, but not really. If you look at Russia, I mean, we had McDonald's over there. We had all kinds of things over there until NATO decided to pick a fight. And they've been trying to pick a fight, and they've been moving the fight closer and closer to Russia for the last 10, 15 years. If you didn't know that that's what was going on, then you are absolutely oblivious to U.S. foreign policy. You are absolutely oblivious to world affairs. You are living under a rock, or you are glued to the black scrying mirror that you have been given, that is sitting in front of your face, that you continually look at every morning, and before you even turn the thing on, you say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? It's me. But I'm here to tell you that regardless if your parents knelt in front of you and said you were special, you're not fucking special. There's nothing fucking special about you. You are a human on a rock flying through space that contains billions and billions of galaxies, and you're on this little tiny rock and you're paying fucking taxes. That's what you're doing. I've been doing it for almost 50 years. I'm not 50, guys. I'm not, people are like, okay, grandpa, fuck off, boomer. I'm not a boomer. I'm not a grandpa. That'd be cool if I was. God help me, I will be, sometime in my life. That'd be awesome, But hey, guys, I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not gonna lie to you or fill you full of fucking bullshit, And I've been around a little bit, right? So I'm gonna just kind of tell you what I think. Do I think this ceasefire is gonna hold? Is that where we're at? Do you think it's gonna hold? Well, what does Marco have to say about it? Let's see.
To enter into a ceasefire. Today.
I'll kill the music. Jeez. All right. Yeah. Give me a second, dude. Fucking. All right. Yeah. Well. I'm doing it all myself. I got one other person helping me though. Thank you. By the way, but I'm still doing all the switching by myself. We'll figure it out, guys. This is just the first coolest news. I've always wanted to do this. Just talk to you guys about the news and things that are going on. Have you comment. I do have a phone number to Hard Corp that we can use. I hate to give it out so early, but I guess I can. You can't call into the show because there's no one there to answer the phone yet. But if I get enough donations, maybe I can pay somebody to, I don't know, answer the phone, right? Um, this might blow your mind, but you guys want the number? Really? You want the number to Hardcore? Should I? All right, here it is. For one time only. That's all you get, and then we're watching Rubio. All right. It's 888 420 69 66. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's watch Marco.
We made an offer that the Ukrainians have accepted, which is to enter into a ceasefire and into immediate negotiations to end this conflict in a way that's enduring and sustainable and accounts for their interests, their security, their ability to prosper as a nation. I want to personally we both want to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Majesty, for hosting us, for making this possible. They've been instrumental in this process, and we're very grateful to them for hosting us here today. And hopefully we'll take this offer now to the Russians. And we hope that they'll say yes, to peace. The ball is now in their court. And but again, the president.
Ball's in your court, buddy.
Number one, above everything else, he wants the war to end. And I think today Ukraine has taken a concrete.
Dude, I want the war to end too. And you know what, Russia, or just agree, because you know what, Europe,
today we made
Poland, everybody is getting excited. They want to get in there and start hurting some people, right? And they want to start making money. The global military-industrial complex wants to make some money, and I kind of don't want them to make some money. Is that cool, guys? Like, I hate war. I was an infantry platoon sergeant. Do you guys know what that is? Do you know what an infantry platoon sergeant does? Well, what he does is he suffers through about 2 or 3 combat tours where he sees a bunch of people get killed. And then they, at an E5 level, and some of you guys that have been served in the military or served in the U.S. Army know what I'm talking about. At an E5 level, and granted, I got my E5 after being prior service. I was prior service. I went in 1995, guys, and I as an infantryman, a mortarman. Actually, 11 Charlie is the MOS in the U.S. Army for a mortarman, so that's what I did. Indirect fire infantryman, so I shot mortars. Scored a perfect score on everything in my basic training. I was promoted in basic. I was given an award in basic training. My first Army Achievement Award was in basic training for being the soldier of the cycle. And I did that throughout my career. But I spent 4 years in the infantry as a mortarman, and then I did some time as a long-range reconnaissance and surveillance. Call ourselves commandos. Kind of doing the same kind of work that a Mac V SOG unit or a LURS D unit would be doing in Vietnam. We were also called LURPs, I believe. Long range reconnaissance patrolman. That's what I did in my previous units in the military airborne units. And then I came back into the military May the 4th, be with me, 2004. And I put Jedi Knight on my dog tags, and that's the end of that. But I became a platoon sergeant at E5 in 2007. And subsequently got my E6 and E7 after that, and then got out of the military. I was subsequently med boarded, but I did some contracting time after that and then started my own company. That's my story, and that's it, guys. That's my news story about me. That's the end of me. For the rest of this program, rest of my shows, just understand that's where I come from, okay? I've had 5 combat tours. I've seen more than 70 of soldiers that I knew die. I've been to over 70 funerals in country. Several since I've been back, and I've seen almost as many people kill themselves. I said it on all platforms. Veterans kill themselves every 11 minutes in this country. Please, if you know a veteran and you know he's hurting, or you know she is hurting, or she needs milk for her children for whatever reason, or a veteran comes to you and he says, "Man, I'm just not feeling good about life today," talk to him. And if he doesn't know where to go and he's a gamer, there's a organization called regiment.gg. Please look them up. They will play games with you. They will be your friend. They will have your 6. I also, if you are a veteran and you need help, DM me on X. I will respond to you. I don't care what time it is. I don't care who you are. If you are a veteran with PTSD, I would very much like you to contact me or someone if you are in trouble or you're hurting. Okay, so with that, do I think that the ceasefire is going to last? God help us, I hope so. I really do. Because this guy isn't somebody that I trust. Father, husband, well, you know, where's all that? Where's all the examples of that? Why don't I get to see the father husband part? Fighter for democracy, president of the Ukraine, comedian, parody. Parody. He's a parody comedian. Well, this is a parody. This is a parody page, right? But is that what he is? You know, is he a parody? Is that what we're watching? I mean, we cause a coup and then we put some dipshit in charge. I mean, I think all the rest of his war leadership is probably more competent to run the country than he is. And I'm not just saying that to inflame the Ukrainians out there that are watching me. I'm not at all. I love you people. I do. The last house where I was at, I had 3 Ukrainian families within two houses of my house, and I'm telling you what, you want to talk about some fun family like backyard barbecues and stuff, guys. They love barbecuing, and I just I love the Ukrainian people. I love the Russian people too, man. I know so many Russian people. Named Nick. I'm just kidding. No, I do though. I actually know 4 Russian people named Nick. I don't know what the odds are, but yes, I'm assuming it's Nikolai. It's not just Nick, but they go by Nick. But I learned a lot from Russians over the years. You know, not necessarily on the military side, on the game development side, of which I know. I can speak 4 object-oriented languages: Java, C++, C Sharp. I can speak languages. But I was just looking over the news. What else I was going to comment on today, guys? It was a tragedy.
To his wife and kids.
Whoops. I think we could tune in. Actually, let's tune in. We're going to tune into InfoWars for a second, guys.
Around by his wife. Every single commercial. The commercials are more telling to me than even the movies.
No, I wanted to show you a part of the InfoWars show today, guys, where one of the InfoWars reporters was assassinated the other day, and I just want to comment on that real quick. It'll pop up. Well, 5 hours ago, here's Alex, guys. Hey, check this out. 5 hours ago, I didn't even see this.
Flynn tried to call me this morning.
Here we go.
Working out, and I missed his call, but he called my producer and said the same thing. Former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. He said from his high-level intel sources, there is a contract out on me, and of course it's tied to the Ukrainians. But this is just emblematic of how desperate they are. That's NATO through the Ukrainians. Don't forget that it was a NATO operative from America, CIA, recruiting for the Ukrainian war, with the 6 cell phones that Trump talked about last week and all the passports that tried to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So that's their base of operations. So it's MI6 running NATO, doing this, and anything happens to me, Keir Starmer, Barack Obama, they're running their operations out of there, NATO. And we know it's not just the Ukrainians.
Okay, guys. So
it's looking worse and worse.
Alex is definitely.
That's what they do.
I'm smiling. This isn't anything to be kind of joking about, but this is basically what happened. InfoWars journalists promised to expose surveillance on 94% of American smartphones. Yes, if your smartphone has, I'll just say it. You don't need evidence. You don't need surveillance to know what the hell's going on. 6 hours before his broadcast to 2.3 million viewers, he was murdered. He was murdered. Why? What was he going to talk about? I mean, we can only speculate, but let's speculate that it's Bluetooth, for instance. One of several different technologies that run on the average cell phone. I would say probably 94% of them. And the government can not only listen in to your conversations, but they can operate your phone. If your phone's off, they can turn your phone on. If you take your phone somewhere and you turn it off, the record of wherever that phone went is still in that phone. It's like a black box. Okay? This probably isn't what he was going to expose. Okay? He might be like lower level in there and know and have actual, human intel that the I don't know, that the government, the deep state, if that's what you want to say, is watching InfoWars or is watching all 94% of American smartphones. Do you think that the U.S. government, if that's what they're doing, cares if the rest of the country knows that? That's my question to you. Do you think that the government cares if the entire public knows that they're spying on them? I mean, some people cared about Ed Snowden and when he said that, government spying on everybody. And then what did the government say? Well, he released secrets that, was above his his classified level. His security level isn't high enough, essentially. I got allergies today, guys. So my eyes have been itching. But his clearance only goes so far. And you only know so much information, right? Even if you're working for the NSA, I don't care if you're working for, O&I. It doesn't matter who you're working for. Even if you have a top secret clearance, you cannot share classified information. You can't. It's compartmentalized. So, like, all you people that are asking for or complaining about Elon Musk, let's talk about Elon Musk for a second, right? If your argument is that an unelected person got put into a position of highest level security in the country, in the land, we're talking above top secret. He would have to be above top secret. And they're like, well, why would they give him, of all people, that level of clearance? Ladies and gentlemen, this person puts all of the astronauts for the United States into space. He might be the only person that can bring the astronauts that NASA abandoned up at the space station back. Okay, so he's going to be saving lives that the U.S. government either can't afford to or is unwilling to do. I don't know which. I don't even know why that would be a problem. Okay, when lives are at stake, we go get our people. I don't get this. I have no idea. I mean, it might have to do with windows about when you can get rockets up there, okay? And what angle the Earth is at. I don't know. But from what I understand, the space station goes around the Earth like 16 times a day. You think that there's like a launch window that we could catch. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know what the excuses are. I don't even know how to follow them most of the time. Because sometimes they're just crazy as hell. They just, they're all in left field. And so if my followers think that I'm just going to, rant and rave and carry on about Alex Jones, that's not true. But I've met Alex several times in the past. I've talked to him several times in the past. We have mutual friends in the industry. And I have also recommended several people to go to work for Alex at InfoWars. I love you guys very much. You know who you are. I'm not going to name names, obviously, because holy crap. However, this is a tragedy. Okay? This is absolutely a tragedy. And if it does point to a defense contractor, okay? If it does. And I mean the surveillance of all the smartphones, which I'm assuming obviously it does. Somebody had to build them. Somebody had to build the technology that's in the phone that does the backdoor opening and closing, if you will, based on classified and or information that they want to keep secure from the general public. FOIA requests are not going to work for this. And Elon, being where he is, has complete authority, as if we assign the general of the Space Force or any top-level intelligence officer to be that person, or top-level investigator. But we've seen in the recent past that you can't trust attorney generals, you can't trust inspector generals. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't trust those people. And that sucks, because those positions in the government are supposed to be bipartisan, not judging, blind people. They're looking for injustice. They're looking for corruption. They're looking for, hey, we made a payment, for platypus sex changes in, Madagascar. I don't even know if platypuses live in Madagascar. I don't care. But the kind of shit that Elon has been uncovering, everybody kind of like, can you step back a second and like stop vandalizing vehicles? Feds that are upset about either losing their jobs or for whatever fucking reason, you guys are deranged lunatics. And it's like, well, I got paid $100,000 to be a deranged lunatic. Well, no shit. But you're only, like I said, a human on this earth for so long. You got less than 100 years to get your shit together. You got less than 100 years to do something that might be put in the history books. Are you going to put it in and then know when you die that your whole life was a lie? I can't even tell you what happens at that point in your life. I know what happens at that point in your life if you end up being a liar and your whole life is a hypocritical lie. You know, whether or not you believe in God doesn't matter. At that point, you'll be dead to oblivion. And you think that your story is gonna stay true over time? If you're a bullshitter, you're gonna be found out, whether you're dead or alive. Right? And I've lived my life, and I don't bullshit. I've never bullshitted anybody. And if I was caught or whatever bullshitting somebody, God help me that they would tell me about it. That way I could confront them and say, what is it about it that you thought I was lying about? Because here are the receipts. So the problem with what's going on right now with this hunting of InfoWars journalists or a list from Ukrainians, this is the extent of the homicide. This is what the news said. Okay, we're just gonna play this so that y'all can hear this is local. This is local Austin.
I'm Sally Hernandez. Police on the scene in East Austin at Douglas Street and Old Torf Street.
Now you tell me if this is Ukrainian terrorists or something.
Last night, Bear Tryon has been there for us within the last few hours to figure out exactly what police are saying from that investigation. Good morning.
Police really releasing few details about what happened overnight, but this is what we do know right now. Police say they actually found the victim here in the parking lot of this apartment complex. EMS ended up taking that man to the hospital where he later died. Right now, police will not say exactly if he was shot or stabbed, only saying that he had obvious trauma. Homicide detectives still on scene, as I mentioned this morning, collecting evidence. We've seen also a lot of activity in a second floor apartment where they've been taking evidence bags out. Right now, police say they do not have any information about a suspect, and they're asking if you know something about that, to contact
They
them.
have no information about a suspect
using Crime
but
Stoppers.
My question to everybody is, how did the
March
police
10th,
show up?
2025, and I come to the InfoWars family of viewers and listeners into the world.
So somebody saw something.
With some really horrible news.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really
cool
people that have worked at InfoWars.
Come out with it.
And one of the most amazing people was Jamie White. You know him as a great reporter and researcher. He was up here last night working late during the Sunday show and after it. And we even have his last post on X where he responded to Elon Musk. Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios. And
ladies and gentlemen, if we can, I want to just give the next 30 seconds of silence on my show to give respect to Jamie and his family. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and God bless Jamie and his family. May he rest in peace. Thank you for tuning in to my broadcast. This is the coolest news, and it's just a somber day the last couple days, hearing about Jamie's passing. I did not know Jamie But like I said, I know a lot of the InfoWars people. I know Alex and his family, and I know that they are deeply saddened by the events that took place the other day. And I hope that everybody up there, Owen, Alex, and just everybody up there can heal and move on. I encourage everybody to watch Chase's show when he's on. Chase has been swatted twice in the last 24 hours by people calling into 911 and fraudulently reporting that he's endangering his family. Something to that effect is what I heard. And he's being targeted. InfoWars reporters were not getting targeted until Donald Trump took over as president. So let's seriously look at this situation and try to decide whether or not the president's enemies have thus become InfoWars enemies, or the InfoWars enemies who have always been part of the larger cabal. It is a global thing that is focused on Alex and his news organization. He brings light to the truth about these shadowy organizations, although I don't always agree with what Alex says 100%, or not even, sometimes I don't even agree with his opinions about things. But Alex Jones has been a spokesman for the people of the United States since he started going online in 1998. I first heard him on the air on AM radio in 1998. Was the first year that I started listening to Alex Jones. And he said some things then, and he said some things now that resonate. And for being at that level of the news timeline, guys, I believe that he is targeted. I really do. Now, this is something else. And I want you guys to understand this person. George Soros is the person who is presenting the narrative to the news media, who is controlled by 6 people in the world, control everything that you see on the news. Everything. If you are watching mainstream news that is owned by Microsoft, that is owned by Fox, that is owned by any of these other large conglomerates that are also owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, Wellington Management, I could go on and on. I actually could. And I'm a shareholder in many of those companies. If you are not aware of both how foreign affairs and these management companies handle finance globally, and you don't understand who this man that we're looking at right here and we're about to listen to, God help us, because I don't like listening to his voice. He might be a loving parent, to his kids. He might even be a loving family member to his family. But this man cares nothing for you, me, or the average human being. If you are not of his quote-unquote pedigree, you are not his friend. Is he lying? Let's find out what he said. Let's just listen for a second, and then we'll talk about it.
Logical dimension. President Trump is a con man and the ultimate narcissist who wants the world to revolve around him.
From George Soros.
When his fantasy of becoming president came true, his narcissism developed a pathological dimension. President Trump is a con.
A pathological dimension. I Love America News says Soros is evil. Jay Anderson says when you can't attack the policies, you attack the person. What did he say?
Is a con man and the ultimate narcissist who wants the world to revolve around him.
So switch this right here with this. That's it. Okay, so we handled it, right? We handled it, guys. George Soros is a con man and the ultimate narcissist who wants the world to revolve around him. When his fantasy of becoming president came true, Obama, his narcissism developed a pathological dimension. See? I can read too. And if you can't read the room right now, even Soros is talking about himself. Worse, he's the personification of evil. This is the hypocritical shit in the world that I need to talk about, guys. I have to get it off my chest because every single day I sit here and I look for, like the past 20 years of my life, I'm sitting here watching the news every day going, why are the biggest fucking morons in the history of mankind in charge of everything? And why do they have these hollow-hearted, black heart, just sick, twisted, demented fucking things that keep them going? Like this shit. Like all you're doing is sowing discord in a global population that doesn't really know why the most influential business person in the world is saying shit about the president of the United States, and everybody seems to want to believe him and not believe the American people who are being bettered at this moment, that our president is actually attempting to be the best president. See, this is one thing that I don't understand about people who don't like Trump. They say that, well, he's all about himself. Okay. Name a president that wasn't. And don't you fucking dare say Johnson or Carter. But name a fucking president that wasn't about himself, enriching the oligarchy or the elites within his peer group. Name one. There aren't any, right? So we accept the fact that the president's out for himself. If Obama wasn't out for himself, he wouldn't have created the Muslim Brotherhood. They wouldn't have done BLM. They wouldn't have done the Boston massacre or the Boston marathon bombing. They wouldn't have done that. You're like, oh, the Tarasev brother. No, the fuck they didn't. Tarasev brother? No, they didn't. Those two guys were patsies. I can prove it. So, it's like, and they're like, well, here we go. Jason's a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not at all. Actually, I'm not in any way a conspiracy theorist. I'm a researcher. I am the CEO of the highly advanced research and development corporation. I have advised multi-billion-dollar corporations on what they should do with AI and what they should do with VR before it was XR, because VR's dead, and I told every single person I've ever talked to that. They don't know how to use it. Or we'd all be on VR right now. They don't know how to use XR. to the greatest extent that it could be used. And I'm talking about 10 years ago it could have been used. But then we've got companies that are just stifling technology left and right. You're like, oh no, they're advancing in quantum computers. Do you even know what quantum computers are, or what they do, or how to code one? I do. Do you know that if a scientist told you right now that if you don't perceive the molecules that are around you, that they are not perceived by man, that they're not even there? That's quantum mechanics, guys. That's quantum theory. And then when I tell you that Moses said that the entire universe was 13.14 billion years old inside of the Bible, and then I prove it to you, which, hey, we might do that. We'll do the math on that next episode. But he did. So there's all sorts of things that happened in those 13 billion years before man. Has man evolved? Not very much, guys. The modern man's only been here for about 12,000 years. We're genetic hybrids of something else. The indigenous beings that were here did go through evolution, and that's also in the Bible. So, I'm not sitting here to be a Bible apologetic or try to prove religion on any of you. I don't care to ever do that. You guys all make your own decisions. But very smart people have written down things in the past, and then they've compartmentalized that information so that only people who are either in the position to know that information or in the position to access that information, priests, seminary teachers, professors, we could make a list of gatekeepers of knowledge, archaeologists. Where are we as humans when we are just calling people names? When we're the biggest multi-billionaire in the world and we're just calling people names? Where are we as a species? This man has literally kept humanity in the dark for the last 20 years. And he is a Nazi, an actual one. You're like, no. That's the most anti-Semitic thing you could have ever said about Soros, because he's actually Jewish. Do you know how many people I can count on my hands and toes? Let me tell you, I can't. That have told me that their family is Jewish and that they escaped World War II. But then I come to find out that they're actually German and they were actually part of the National Socialist Party. They were actual Nazis who left Germany during World War II to come over here to the United States, tell everybody that they're Jews, and get all the sympathy in the world, and then get all the advantages in the world, and get all the businesses in the world, and get all the school in the world that they want. Do I sound a little bit like a Nazi? Yeah, I do. Because that's what the Nazis did. If you didn't know that the Nazis won World War II, you're out of your frickin' mind. Just like the Romans landed here when they built Washington, D.C. Everything in Washington, D.C. is built with Roman architecture. Essentially. That wasn't done that way because of Catholics. Okay? It was done that way to mock the religion that they all hate. And I'm not saying Catholicism either. If you're a good Catholic, God praise you. However, I am not a Catholic. And I know the true story of Masada was a Christian one, not a Jewish one. And I also know that since 1967, the institution that has been created, or the nation that has been created, is not the cultural Israelites of the past. That the brothers of the tribes of Jacob did not intend for only one tribe to rule them all. That's not the intention. And so when somebody says to me, you're being anti-Semitic, do you know what that means? Anti-Shem-etic, maybe? Because if you're a descendant of Shem, then you must certainly have to be from the tribe of Judah. But what if I told you that if you're Arab, that if you're from Saudi Arabia or from even their royal family, that you're also from Shem? Brothers of Abraham. And the brothers of Abraham, or the brothers, the two brothers, sons of Abraham, excuse me, not brothers of Abraham, but sons of Abraham, but we're brothers. That feud has led to so many fights over the years, but that feud was invented thousands of years after those two brothers lived. Do you understand me? That fight didn't last through the centuries to the point where now we have the brothers, or the sons of Isaac fighting the sons of Ishmael. That's not what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, that's false. It's a false narrative. It's not even true. Okay? Most likely, the Saudi Arabia, the Arabs, are even descendants of Isaac, not Ishmael. We don't know. Well, we do know. We can actually, well, we could look this up. But God help us we prove the Bible to be true, because that would really, really upset a lot of people. To prove that the genealogies weren't just stories. Yes, that would upset a lot of people. This thing called Islam is a cultural appropriation given to a certain band of religious, we can call them zealots because they're not, but the term zealot came from the quote-unquote zealots of the Israelites, the tribe of Judah, and what was the first Jewish revolt was from people called zealots. Would you like to know who exactly those people were? I will tell you. There's a man named James the Just, who, according to the Jewish people, is their highest regarded warrior during the time of Jesus Christ's existence on earth. James is the blood brother and younger blood brother, half brother to Jesus Christ. That's who he is. He was at Masada. He led it. He led the revolt against the Romans. He led that. There was another man there named Menachem, who was the son of Judas of Galilee. Who is that? That is Judas, the Judas from the Bible. The same guy that was supposedly dead, except in the Gospels, they couldn't agree on how he died. I wonder why. Well, his last name is not Iscariot, although the Romans would have liked you to believe that his last name was Iscariot. Iscariot means Sakari. It means dagger man. It means that he was an assassin. He was in the Assassin's Creed. He was a Jewish assassin. That is Judas. That's why the rest of the disciples did not care for him. They did not like his kind. What does that mean? He was from Scythopolis. He was a Scythian, which means he was, Russian. They didn't like him. Do you know who he assassinated? Do you know the people he assassinated? Roman officers, Roman centurions, Roman generals. That is who he assassinated. So why do you think that Jesus Christ, who marched into Jerusalem with over 10,000 disciples, not 5 or 10 like on Charlton Heston's, anyway. Oh my God, I could just go on and on about the stupid Hollywood videos that depict the Passion of Christ to be completely wrong. On Palm Sunday, when he rode a donkey into Jerusalem, there were 10,000 followers that marched over the hills with him. And if you don't think that the Romans and the Sanhedrin thought that a revolt was happening when the population of a town that only had maybe 60,000 people increased by 1/6 overnight, that there wouldn't be a problem. Okay? So they rounded him up and had him killed. How did they round him up? Well, none of the disciples could have betrayed him like they said, Judas was the betrayer. Judas was the only person who could approach the Romans and give and get paid essentially to tell them where they were. He was a spy for Jesus Christ. He's not the betrayer. Peter is. I could prove it. You know it's true. But something happened in recent events, guys. And this will all come back together. I'm bringing it all back together for you guys. I have to explain this to you. And I've explained this on episode 3 of my the SAGEofZED show. But in the southern government of Lebanon, in the Tyre district, where the Templars were, this is where Templars settled. This happened. And I want to bring everybody's attention to this. Everyone. Pay the fuck attention to me right now. Israeli forces destroyed a religious shrine in the village of Shama in southern Lebanon on Friday, garnering widespread condemnation. The area is revered among Shia and Christian populations, as Christian worshippers believe a Christian saint is buried there, and Shia believers have constructed various sites to honor Imam Mahdi. Mahdi. The Mahdi, al-Mahdi, the Guided, is a figure in Islamic histology who is believed to appear at the end of times to rid the world of evil and injustice. He is said to be a descendant of Muhammad and will appear shortly before Jesus Christ. Now, what was blown up? Was it a shrine to the Mahdi? No. It's the shrine of Shimon. What does that mean in Hebrew? It means Simon. On the 17th of November, 2024, the shrine of Simon Peter was destroyed by Israel, the country. Christians, wake up. And I'm not talking about Catholics because you guys don't care. Because you don't know who Simon Peter is. You call him Peter. Jesus Christ called him Simon Peter. Why? Why did Jesus Christ never call him Peter? Peter wasn't called Peter until Peter wrote Peter. Do you understand what's happening? I don't think you do. Simon, by the way, is one of the disciples of Jesus Christ. He is also the cousin of the Virgin Mary. He is the cousin of. Simon Peter is the cousin of who? Jesus Christ's mom. That's Simon Peter. That's Peter from the Bible. Today, the Zionists are destroying it, one social media user wrote. The Zionists are destroying it. This historic castle was built 900 years ago in the 1300s, okay? It was built to house something that Protestants have hidden for centuries. But you found it, didn't you, Israel? You found it. You found it, Catholics. You found it. Soldiers being besieged in the shrine of the prophet Simon while being exposed to gunfire from all sides. Lebanon's national news agency later said that Israeli forces withdrew from the hill where the shrine was located due to intense resistance from Hezbollah fighters. Hezbollah literally protected a Christian landmark. During the Israeli attacks, a nearby UN peacekeeping site was also targeted with artillery shelling. How about that? Isn't that great? Italian peacekeepers there later successfully detonated it. But, yeah. Artillery from Israelis hit the compound, but the damn thing was a dud and it didn't go off. Holy crap. Thank you. Why are we supporting Israel again? Do you guys know why we're supporting Israel? Because of this? Because of October 7th? Is that why? Okay, because I want to ask you what's buried under the St. Peter's Cathedral or Basilica. Ooh. What did I just say? Who's buried under St. Peter's Basilica if it's not Peter? Catholics? Anyone? Fill up the chat. Give me a call. I gave you the phone number. Do something. Explain yourself. But you can't. Not since the Pope killed off the Templars was this information known. My family knows. My family knows. I was born adopted, guys. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know what nationality, what cultural heritage, what kind of background I had. I didn't even know. I was adopted. I was a not aborted baby, thank God. But I was a bastard child. I was not wanted. I was a product of most likely rape. I am here, a successful person who has saved numerous lives, including my enemies. And I have sacrificed and given for my country, but I was an only child. I've served in war 5 times. I am an only child. I am an infantryman by choice. I got all A's in high school, guys. I'll show you my report card. I got accepted to 2 different universities, major universities, when I graduated high school with honors. But I went into the Army instead. Because my father served his nation, and my grandfather served his nation, and my great-grandfather served his nation, and my great-great-great-great-grandfather signed the Declaration of Independence. My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a Templar. And I don't remember how many times down the family lineage, but the first person to translate Homer's Greek into English was one of my ancestors, and thank you, God. On my adopted side, not my natural birth side of the family, although we do have a signer of the Declaration of Independence on that side of the family as well. His name is Morris. So, there are things that happen in the lifetime of just one person, one individual, and that maybe that's you out there. You are infinitely important. You are, as an individual. You are infinitely important to the grand scheme of everything that's happening in this world. There is a timeline. There is a story. And if you want to be written in the book of life, you have to believe. You have to believe that it's there. You have to believe that it exists. You have to believe that this place that we're all been given to walk around in and pay taxes in was created. And it's at this point that I tell you guys that the God that you all think might be the little God in the sky or the All-Father or all these, he's outside of this universe. The programmer who built the simulation is not in it until he is. Literally, he is. If he is, then he is here. He once came to Moses and said, I am that I am, which means he is what? That. What is that? All things are that. Is he all things? Yes. Is he that? Yes. Does that make sense? Okay. It's actually where the word thoth comes from also. That. That. Yes. Thoth. Actually. Thought. All the same. It's essentially the same word. The etymology of the word is identical. The fact that we're all here and we're all discussing the same shit fights that have happened since the beginning of man, does that not make you think that maybe if you took your mind off of the sensationalism of the, let's call it, shock and awe, because that's a Hebrew god, Shekinah or Shekinah. It's the goddess of war. Okay, so when you're talking about shock and awe, they're invoking a Jewish god. And you're like, Jewish gods? They don't have multiple gods. Yes, they do. Okay? Yes, they do if they read the Talmud, which is a disgusting, absolutely disgusting commentary on the Torah, in my opinion. And the modern Israeli doesn't know shit about the ancient Israelite. Okay? They also don't read the part in the Old Testament besides the Torah, because the Tanakh tells them not to read this part. But Jesus Christ is Israel. This is a cultural appropriation almost. He assumed the role of Israel when Israel decided to go a different way. So what are they doing today to adhere to their religion? Honestly. Because if everybody in Israel is Jewish, then why aren't they all religious? I mean, the Muslims seem to have figured it out in most Muslim countries. Why don't you believe that Jesus is God? Why don't they believe that Jesus is God? They don't. They just don't. Okay? But I'm here to tell you that, like Tron, at one point, the programmer, the word, which means exactly what it says it means, the word was used to create the world. You can find that in the Quran. You can find that in the Bible. The word was what God or Allah used to create the world. The word. What is the word? I'm here to tell you it's the object-oriented language that was used to create the simulation universe that we're in. It's object-oriented, and that we're in a three-dimensional universe with four-dimensional boundaries and fifth-dimensional thought. Holy crap, right? Because you have to create you have to preconceive something, or create a concept, or create a, I don't know, like a holodeck, if you will. You know what I mean? It's a simulation universe in which you could be tested. You could be put in. We're like Sims in a video game. Okay? And at one point, the lead sim, the guy who created the whole thing, came and said, hey, this is how it works. I created all this through this. This is how it works. And then you are all like, well, I hate you because I have this religion and I have this religion and you don't have that religion. And he says, no, I don't have that religion. I believe there's only one creator and I'm him. Why would he have all that knowledge? Why would he have all the knowledge on how to move throughout his own space? How would he walk on water? How would he perform miracles? How would he do any of those things? Are you guys going to crack the code? Do you guys think you could crack the code? Huh? Are you Tron? Do you think you could figure it out? We didn't have the mental capacity to figure it out thousands of years ago, guys. We didn't have it. We didn't have the IQ, but we could figure it out right now. Let's start with, why did the Catholics lie about who they worship? If they're the church. Because the church was given to James and Mary at the cross. Peter was not there. Okay? This happened well before. This even happened before Jesus called him Satan. That's correct also. You can look that up. Out of all the disciples that he could have called Satan, especially Judas, he didn't. He called Peter Satan. Simon Peter was called Satan. And I'm here to tell you guys, I don't even think he's allowed in heaven. Doesn't that sound crazy? Of all the people that he's saved. Why? Because I don't think he's been baptized. That's why. I think he hated John so much that he wasn't even willing to be baptized. And that is not good. Unless he got baptized at some point during the ministry, traveling around with Christ. I mean, that may have happened. But it wasn't documented, so. Nor was his death documented. Although Jesus Christ's death was documented all the way to the point where Pontius Pilate wrote a letter to Augustus Caesar. I've read it. I've also read the Chinon parchment that absolves the Templars of all of their sins 2 weeks after the rounding up of the Templars in October 13th of 1307. Okay? That is when the Catholic Church took over. That's when the Catholic Church started lying for the Pope. That's when the Catholic Church started lying for kings. That's when the church started lying for man. And it happened in several different cases. It happened right here on November 17th of 2024. It happened. There's a lie that happened. Okay? The other thing that and now it's all destroyed. The burial place of the actual St. Peter has been destroyed by the Israeli government. Do you understand why that is such an international incident and not one? This is the only news program, besides myself, I think, that has even commented on this, guys. Okay? And they are beheading Christians by the hundreds in Syria right now, and nobody gives a shit. Israel and Turkey, the showdown that could shape Syria's future. Israel and Turkey. They're going to start fighting. Syria's Druze, key players caught between rival power struggles. Do you know who the Druze are? Ladies and gentlemen, I met a leader, a priest of the Druze. They are Christian and Shia. They say Druze community. They have to instructed the army to prepare to defend the Druze community. Okay? Which is good. Okay? But they say Druze factions. Do you guys know who they are? They're calling them Syrian nationalists. Syrian nationalists. Do you know who the Druze are? These people are direct descendants to Jesus Christ, by the way. Arab, ethno-religious group of the Levant. Ethno-religious. What does that mean? Al-Muhadin. Muhadun. Esoteric religious group. You just can't say Christian, can you? You can't. Ishmaelism? No. Druze do not identify as Muslims. They maintain their Arabic language and culture as integral parts of their identity. They're Christian, Abrahamic, monotheistic, syncretic religion whose main tenets assert the unity of God, reincarnation, the eternity of the soul, and Jesus Christ. It's what you can't say, Wikipedia. You just can't say it. But I get it. I don't even care because I get it. The cosmic mind. No, they also believe in what I just talked to you about. Reincarnation. They also believe in the fact that God created this. And he's outside of it. Okay? Men are in charge right now, and there is a force in charge of the men's subconscious that is bad. That's what's happening in the world. If you didn't know that's what's happening in the world, you were born, you've been here for a little while, I hope, and you might have figured it out. You're like, why does bad shit always happen to me when I have the best intentions? And then you blame it on others. Right? You blame being judged on Christians because they're like, oh, they're so judgy. They just don't want you to fall. They don't want you to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. Then there's some other ones that say that you're going to hell if you don't believe in Jesus Christ. You will be separated from God if you do not believe in God. Okay? And then when you die, you will be obliterated. You will get oblivion. That is what you are given as a gift, because that's all you believe in is oblivion. If you believe in oblivion, you'll be shown oblivion. If you believe in God and Jesus Christ, you'll be shown God and Jesus Christ. Are you going to be judged when you die if you know God and Jesus Christ? Yes. You are going to be judged harshly for the bad things that you've done. It's kind of karmic law if you believe in that, but I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in karma because if you believed in karma, for fuck's sake, the Epstein list would have been released a long fucking time ago, and people would be hanging from the fucking gallows, and every single fucking pedo on the goddamn planet or in the history of fucking mankind would have been killed by now. Horrifically in the fucking streets in front of everybody. But why? Why are they not? Why are they not punished? Oh, because maybe evil exists. Maybe evil exists in the hearts of men. Maybe your intuition is fucking lying to you. And maybe you need help. And maybe that help has come to you in the past. Maybe through an angel. Maybe through somebody. Maybe through your friend. Maybe God is talking to you through your friends when they say to you, no, don't mutilate your fucking body. Accept your body as beautiful, however it is. Am I telling you not to go get a boob job? Look, man, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just letting you know how it looks to the person who created you before you were born. This is what you were given, guys. And if you don't like it, it doesn't matter, because that's your test. If the next time that you show up in the simulation, it's really great, I'm here to tell you that I think the reason that it could be really great in the next life is because of all the good things that you might have done in this one. The Druze believe the same way. And I'll tell you a short story before we go. And actually, I'll just tell you a story, and then maybe we'll talk about it. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning after a firefight, and I'm in downtown Baghdad. And I'm weeping because I know that I just killed somebody. I know I just took somebody's life in war. And I told my medic, my combat medic, who came with me on 2 deployments, I said, Doc, I got to go for a walk, buddy. I got to go for a walk. Like I can't do this right now. I have to go for a walk. And he goes, well, I can't leave you alone, Sarge. You can't just walk away, you know? We're still on a mission. We're still on the objective. Soldiers still might need me for instruction or whatever. And I said, no, there's an E8, which would be a master sergeant. There's an E8 and there's 2 captains on the ground. I said, I need a second. And I'll tell you what I did, guys. I walked away. I walked away from the objective and I walked around the block by myself, but not alone. And Doc came running up behind me and he said, I can't let you go by yourself. And I said to my combat medic, I said, I'm not alone. And he said, well, I'm sorry, but I'm coming with you this time. And he goes, I don't know about all that Jesus mumbo jumbo stuff. I said, okay. But I'm not alone. And we walked, I would say, about 100 yards around that corner. And we turned another corner. And the entire court it had buildings around it, right? In a semicircle, almost like a horseshoe when we turned the corner. And over here on the in the corner of the cul-de-sac was a large church. I'm in downtown Baghdad. We just got in a firefight where people were killed. And I'm weeping, and I see the largest illuminated cross on the side of a building I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm including all of the churches that I've ever seen at night in the United States, and I've never seen a cross this big. And it's hidden in this little tiny horseshoe. And as I'm walking up to it, amazed, I almost fell to my knees at that point because I was weeping and I was praying as I walked, which I often do. And from the side of this house in the front entryway, a man said, "Hey, soldier, come here." And at first I didn't move. I was kind of frozen. And then he said, "I'm a Christian. Soldier, come here." That's what he said in English. So naturally I walked over to him. Could have been my death. Could have been the end. He could have been tricking me. But my faith told me otherwise. And he said, "I am the priest. I am the imam at that church." And I said, "Imam? Isn't that Imam, isn't that a what's up? Imam, isn't that an Islamic priest?" And he said, "I am an imam and a priest. And I am the leader of the Druze church right there." And he pointed at the building that had the cross on it. And I thought for sure I was in the wrong place at the wrong time for a second, because I thought, there aren't any Christians over here in Iraq anymore that was once a very Christian country, like Syria, Lebanon. The Templars' stronghold was in Tyre. You know where? The Shrine of Shimon, or the Shrine of Simon. It's a castle there that the Israeli government just destroyed. They don't care about your history. They care about their history. And their history isn't even true. Why do we support Israel again? I'm sorry, but I'm just not a big fan of religions that are trying to take over the world. I'm not a fan of communism, socialism, Catholicism, Islam. I'm not a fan. I don't believe in your God. No, I believe in Jesus Christ, and that he came here to save all people, including everyone from every bloodline and every nationality, because that's what he said he came for. Blood's not important. Who your mom is not important. Who your dad is not important. I was taught that at a very early age. Born without a mother and father. Lived at a foster care for 1.5 years before I was even taken home. I used to stand in the window when I was just able to stand and cry for 6 to 8 hours until my mom came to pick me up, because I wasn't allowed to stay at home. during the day. Abandonment is something that every adoptee feels. And if you've ever felt that feeling, or the feeling of abandonment by those that love you, or those that were entrusted by God to take care of you, when you're rejected by those, you turn to God first. You try to find something, some kind of reason of being here. And then if it's not to your liking, you might even get mad at God. Why did you create me this way? Why did you do this? And so the secret of this show, and I'm going to leave you guys with this thought until next week, where we talk about other headlines in the news, and I tell you what I think about it. But I'm going to leave you with this. You are who you ask to be. And you are who you make yourself to be. You will become what you want to be if you do what you ought to do. You cannot be what you want to be in this life if you've done what you ought not to do in a previous one. I'm not saying to beg for forgiveness. I'm saying to be knowledgeable about your past. This isn't the first time you've been here. This isn't the first time we've done this rodeo. This isn't the first time that history has done the whole timeline of history. We got a lot of time to go before the end is here. And we got a lot of time to reflect on until the end comes. What you've done in the past is infinitely important to who you are in the future. I implore all of you to be perceptive, be aware, know what's going on around you, be vigilant, know your rights, and fight to defend them for freedom's sake. Freedom is your most important right. Freedom of speech, freedom of life, freedom of liberty. I love you all. That's the first show. I hope I didn't dick it up. Did I screw it up? Did I screw it up? It's only 2 hours. Did I screw it up? Okay. Well, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what happened. Let me know what you're thinking about. Let's see what we can do about talking about all of these situations, and try to come to the conclusion that you don't have to separate yourself into all these groups, guys. You don't have to separate yourself. Be the individual that you want to be, okay? And maybe, just maybe, you can influence others to be better people and to do better things. That's why I'm here. That's what I hope to teach you guys. That's what I hope you guys are here for, is to learn about how to just keep on going. Keep paying those taxes on the rocks spinning through space, guys. Okay? So, I'll see you next Wednesday. I promise. Adios, guys. I love you guys. Hey, oh, one more thing. I'm going to be gaming. Tomorrow night. So, Midnight Outpost, guys. Ring your bells and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ring the bells, do the things, do all you got to do. Oh my God, I forgot. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, Streamlabs, for getting it on all platforms at a time, and it all worked right for, I guess, once, maybe. I don't know. But tell your friends that I'm here on Wednesdays. They got this crazy, looks like an old guy, but he's not an old guy, and he talks about some crazy shit. Just tell all your friends that I'm going to be just, talking about crazy stuff next Wednesday. We're going to be talking about, oh boy, it's going to be good, because I got a rant about conservative voices on the interwebs, and I've got a rant on liberal voices on the interwebs, guys. I'm right here in the middle doing war. See, it's all in the gray area. That's where everything happens, the gray zone. Okay? And I guess I'm kind of a gray guy. So, anyway, I'm not trying to keep you guys. You guys need to get back to watching your gamers, man. I know Doc's on the Rumbles right now. I know Viz is on the Rumbles. If you guys aren't gamers, you don't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. But go watch Tim Pool. Go watch some other of my friends. Jeremy at the quartering over there. Watch him. I'll hit them all on the next stream. I love you guys. We'll see you. Listen to some music on the way out. Yeah, see ya, man. See ya.